everyone, beautiful people. My name is Noah Lakshmi, here to elevate humanity for a better world. This is your astrological cosmic update, and this is nuts. It's midnight here in Southern California, and the latest video I've ever recorded. I just couldn't fall asleep, so I decided to flip the camera and shoot the video instead of waiting until tomorrow. And actually it's coming to you a lot later than usual. I've had quite the interesting last few days, to say the least, and you know, with everything that is going on, I'm not surprised that I can't fall asleep. We also have a meteor shower going on tonight. It was last night and tonight, and there's like a lot of movement in the cosmos, and a lot of movement within the fabric of the universe. And so so I'm just gonna dive in here late night, and this is, what's today? Friday night. Yeah, so officially Saturday, August 13th, and there's a big thing happening today, actually in just a few hours. And what I have been feeling the last few days, and I'm sure, I know that I'm never alone, and I'm sure a lot of you have been experiencing the same thing in this last week and the last few days. The big movement that is happening in the cosmos is one of the biggest planet in our solar system, the second biggest planet, Saturn, is finally moving direct. Saturn has been in retrograde since March, and it hasn't been easy, and now it's finally going direct. Saturday, August 13th. Hooray! And up until now, we still, if you remember, a few months ago, we went into the 5 planets in retrograde, then we went down to 3, and then back to 4, and so now with Mars going direct and Saturn going direct, we're down to 3 planets in retrograde, so the energy is shifting big time. And now with Saturn, it's very significant. Saturn is, it's the taskmaster, I like to see it. It's the teacher, it's discipline, it's maturity, it's responsibility. It's also limitations, but it's also physical reality. And Saturn is, I see Saturn also as just discernment and our ability to discern. It's our ability to make things real, because Saturn is all about time and space, and it's about our physical reality. And since March, when Saturn went retrograde, and the energy of retrograde is, we take the energy more inward, and so much in the last 5 months has been about that, going inward within yourself to be the harsh teacher, so to speak. And harsh, when I say harsh, is not being hard on yourself, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, but it's bringing that energy in and really asking the hard questions. And that's what Saturn does. Saturn is asking of us to ask ourselves those questions that sometimes we don't want to ask ourselves. It's the reality check. Saturn doesn't let us just go in loops in fantasy land and just get lost in imagination and unrealistic sort of daydreaming. Saturn asks us to get real and get focused and get find that inner authority. Saturn is about authority, and to stop seeking that outside of ourselves, that nobody else has authority over you, telling you what to do or should or shouldn't, but for you to become your own authority, to become your own responsibility, and to trust yourself enough to make the right decisions for your life. So we went into the process of bringing all that energy in and go inwards and be very internal and asking ourselves all those questions, like, where do I give my authority away? Where do I give my power away? Where am I choosing to get lost in imagination and illusions? It's more than imagination. It's really, because imagination is great, but you don't want to get lost in illusions and make decisions according to illusions. I'm sure we've all been down that path, and I don't know about you. I've never seen great results of making decisions according to some delusional thinking. So Saturn is bringing us back to reality and making decisions according to reality and physical reality, and not ignoring what's in front of us. Learning how to blend our imagination with reality. And we've been feeling that tug of war because Saturn has been squaring Neptune. Neptune rules our illusions and imagination and inspiration, and Neptune is the opposite of physical reality. So we've been feeling the challenging aspects of Saturn and Neptune kind of in a square, and square is a very challenging position in the cosmos, and it's a tough conversation when it comes to our own selves. Now Neptune is in retrograde as well, so internally feeling that that challenge between getting lost in illusions and wanting to escape, and then, oh, I need to come back to reality and make my choices and make my decisions according to that. So Saturn going direct is it's a big relief also, in terms of, okay, we've internalized all that process and those questions, and now it's time to really move forward with that, move forward in your life, and everything that you've internalized, all the realizations that you've had in the last few months, it's time to implement that in physical reality, and move forward. Just like the moving forward of Saturn, it's the moving forward in your life. And if you've been feeling this, like, again, wanting to move forward and taking one step forward and then 5 steps back, we've been riding this wave with Mars in retrograde and Saturn in retrograde of, like, wanting to move forward, and it's like, but it's like one foot is on the gas and one foot is on the brake kind of feeling. And so that energy is starting to release, starting with Mars going direct at the beginning of the month, and now slowly coming out of what is called the shadow space, and then Saturn going direct is bringing more oomph into the picture when it comes to moving your life forward and making the decisions that you need to make and implementing that into physical reality, into your life, into the now moment. And now what I believe that what I've been experiencing in the last few days and this week, and again, like I said at the beginning, I'm sure I'm not alone. There's a lot of subconscious, unconscious patterns coming up to the surface, especially this week and this last few days, because Saturn is also karma. And so whatever you've been dealing with in the last few years, and I would go way back, and even from childhood, from things that you might have brought into your system from your parents, from society, because Saturn rules all of that. Those things might come up to the surface now, and it, again, that feeling of, oh, I'm going backwards, and Saturn can feel like that limitation and that restriction. And I said that in the last video, the last few videos, that we are so being asked to strengthen our faith and believe in ourselves, the faith in the universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, Saturn is in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's going to be there for another 1.5 years, and it's going direct in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about growth, it's all about expansion, it's all about new horizons. And so Saturn going direct in Sagittarius is inviting us to take all those decisions, to take all of that reality check and apply it into our growth, into our expansion, into the new horizons, into the new opportunities. And now we're looking at some challenging aspects here, because Saturn is squaring Venus. At the same time that it's going direct, it's squaring Venus. I'll be honest, it's not the easiest thing. And when it comes to harsh decisions and big decisions, it's about relationships, it's about projects, it's about money, all those things that Venus rules. Those are the harsh decisions that need to be made right now. And I want to encourage you here to, this weekend is not necessarily the time to make those decisions. Like, give it a few days. Saturn is going direct today, Saturday the 13th. But it always takes a few days for that energy to really kick in. So take this weekend to really, again, look at everything that is on the table when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to projects in your life, when it comes to finances. And maybe there's some big decisions that need to be made, and it's time to have that reality check, meaning that whatever relationships that don't contribute to your growth, to your expansion, to the new horizons, to the new opportunities, you've got to be that Saturn that knows how to say no and move forward, even though it's not easy. Again, the reality check of what is not working, what is working, and move forward in your life, keeping, again, that theme of Sagittarius and its truth too. Sagittarius is truth. Very, very important with the Saturn direct is to strengthen and connect even more so to your internal truth and to what is real for you. If you are still in illusion around certain relationships, certain projects, certain behaviors, patterns in your life that are just, it's just not it anymore. It's time to move forward. Saturn is moving forward, and you've got to get on that train, because this is 2016 is a year of so much expansion, and there's so much that is coming in the next few weeks and into September. We are going to have a full moon and a partial lunar eclipse next week. And this is like a preparation for the activation that is going to take place during that full moon. And then we're going into eclipse season in September. And that's like a whole nother portal opening and a huge shifts that are going to take place individually in your own life and then collectively in our society and humanity. So, the thing with Saturn is it's honesty, it's integrity, it's meaningful change that comes through those big decisions that need to be made. And like I said, it might be harsh decisions. When we have this square between Saturn and Neptune, illusions and reality, and then Saturn and Venus, so anything to do with relationships and just whatever energy that you put in your life towards projects and the things that bring you joy. It's to start looking at all of that and be really honest with yourself. And there's a big opening here when it comes to our own healing. The planet Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, is opposing Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So it all ties together, this massive healing, and this is not going to happen for a very long time. Chiron is in the sign of Pisces, So it is the unconscious. It is things from the past. It is things that we might have been avoided, denied, or suppressed. Maybe some deep wounds, emotional wounds that it's time to bring up to the surface and to really make the choice to rise above it and move forward. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and new opportunities and new horizons. It's the planet of faith. So right now, it's, even though some things from the past might come up, is to ask yourself, are you able to look at those patterns, to look at yourself in a new light, in a more loving light? And like I said at the beginning, it's not the time to be harsh on yourself. Like that paradigm, that way of thinking, that way of being, done. It has to go. No, even though Saturn is the harsh teacher, but it doesn't have to be harsh. It can be the tough teacher. Yeah, there's some tough decisions that we need to make. There's some tough lessons maybe, but you don't need to be tough on yourself. You don't have to just nitpick all the time on yourself and be super critical and super negative. And even if things are feeling difficult right now and feeling challenging and you might feel limited, you might feel restricted, can you be gentle with yourself? Can you open yourself up and have more faith and have more belief in yourself and in the universe, and know that you are supported, that you are taken care of, and that nothing is wrong with you, that you are beautiful, that you're doing the best that you can, and to implement the attitude of gentleness and softness with yourself and move forward with courage and with fierceness, because Mars is like, with full fire right now. So to have that fierceness, but with a more loving, kind attitude towards yourself and everything that you do and all the decisions that you need to make. So much, yes, that's my message to you. And it's just, I'm so thrilled, and it's crazy, and it's midnight, and now it's like 12:30. And I so, as always, sending you so much love and so much light and so much support. If you want a personal reading with me, then please go to my website, noalakshmi.com. You can find me on Facebook as well, and there's a lot of goodness coming at you, and I'll talk about it next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being who you are. Stay awesome. Stay beautiful. Be your best self. We are elevating humanity for a better world, and I'm sending you so much love. Sat Nam.